World Cup 2018 recap and Shameless Stereotypes. Group A. Winners, Uruguay and Russia. Eliminated, Saudi Arabia and Egypt. Argentina Jr. and Putin said, "We don't need your oil and pyramids here. Das vidanya, my friends. Your camels will be waiting for you when you get home." Group B. Winners, Spain and Portugal. Eliminated Iran and Morocco. The salsa dancers and the Fado boys figured, why not have an alternate version of the finals right now? So they decided that the top of the group suited them best, and Oil Jr. and Camel Jr. had to say goodbye. Group C. Winners, France and Denmark. Eliminated Peru and Australia. The two pastries said llamas and koalas were not welcome at the table, so they banished them back to their petting zoos. Group D. Winners, Croatia and Argentina. Eliminated, Nigeria and Iceland. The checkerboard and the tango dancers take out the Wakandans and the icebergs. And interestingly enough, the checkerboard even gave Evita something to cry about. Group E. Winners, Brazil, Switzerland. Eliminated Serbia and Costa Rica. The Brazilian waxing and the Swiss bank pushed Eastern European country number 3 and Puerto Rico out, locking the door behind them. This was also where Brazil's Noodlehead decided to show the world how to become a roly-poly, and by the end of his World Cup run, teaches the kids the new alphabet. Group F. Winners, Sweden and Mexico. Eliminated South Korea and Germany. Probably the biggest surprise of the group stage is the Tacos re-engineered the German Beamer into a puttering, eco-unfriendly wagon. The wagon then managed to win against IKEA, but the K-pop stars challenged them to a dance-off and finished turning them into a poor little trash can. Group G. Winners, Belgium and England. Eliminated Tunisia and Panama. Godiva and Burberry rose to the top of the group, but despite the loss, it was also very exciting that the Canal scored its first ever goal on the world stage. When Godiva and Burberry had to battle it out, they were both put into an interesting situation, because the winner of their match would be put onto the tougher side of the bracket. But at least we got to see one of the most beautiful goal celebrations for the history books. Group H. Winners, Colombia and Japan. Eliminated Senegal and Poland. The cocaine dealers and the anime characters won their group. It is a little bit of a sad performance from the Polish hot dogs, you'll have to admit. Knockout matches. France versus Argentina. The baguettes faced off the empanadas, and even though the empanadas had a special sauce in Messi, the baguettes had a special beret in Mbappe, who became the man of the match, scoring twice and breaking the draw. Uruguay versus Portugal. Empanada Jr. one-upped his senior and managed to beat the Portuguese egg tarts 2-1. Like Empanada Senior, a special ingredient in the Ronaldo wasn't enough. Worthy to note, Suarez did not bite anyone, which made it dull in comparison to the game against the Pizza Boys in 2014. Spain versus Russia. The Tapas and Putin went head-to-head, with the Tapas dominating possession, but it still wasn't enough against the KGB, so they went to penalty kicks. Putin placed a chip in the Russian goalkeeper's leg to make this miraculous save. Croatia versus Denmark. The checkerboard and the Danish pastry had to go to penalty kicks as well. In the end, the poor pastry couldn't win, but this statement from the Great Dane made the loss feel like a victory in its own right. Good job, Danish muffins. Good job. Brazil versus Mexico. The Noodlehead continued to dominate the headlines as he continued rolling his way to victory and collecting his Oscar along the way. The poor tacos couldn't beat the coffee beans, but did manage to step on Noodlehead's foot, so at least there's that.
Say where the road goes, where the day flows, only time.
Belgium versus Japan. The waffles battled the sushi rolls in an all-out duel. What surprised everyone was that the sushi chefs bought the ginger and soy sauce early with a lead of 2-0, leading everyone to believe that the impossible was going to happen. But the waffles said, and brought out the syrup and strawberries, managing to make it 3-2 in the 4th minute of injury time. Sweden versus Switzerland. The furniture store versus the Iron Bank. For some reason, people thought Sweden and Switzerland were the same country, but one is clearly a plus sign, and the other is a different kind of plus sign. The IKEA Malm bed frame won in the end, but the bank didn't feel too strongly about it. He's a neutral kind of guy. Colombia versus England. Colombia didn't have their Pablo Escobar in this match, and it really tested who would win, the dealers or the users. In the last few minutes, the dealers equalized, proving that both have equal pull and they were forced to go into penalties. The users had a history of failing at this stage, but by some miracle, they broke through Voldemort's curse and emerged victorious. Quarterfinals. Uruguay versus France. Turns out the Baguettes had all the flower power they needed as they scored twice and began showing the world what power of bread truly was. Brazil versus Belgium. People were still mourning the fall of the Pikachu, but they knew that the Chocolatiers were the only ones capable of bringing the Noodlehead to heel. And that's exactly what they did. Noodlehead was sent home 2-1 just as he mocked the Tacos for going home in the previous match. It seemed as if the entire world was happy to see the actor return to Hollywood, but felt bad for their teammates and country that had to suffer through his antics.
Neymar!
Sweden versus England. The Swedish meatballs and the kidney pudding battled it out for the grossest food in the group, and naturally the Brits won that hands down. The true momentum of the saying "it's coming home" began picking up a lot of steam. Many people also found their new love in the discount Ryan Gosling. Russia versus Croatia. Big Brother Slav battled against Little Brother Slav, but the checkerboard was not scared of the KGB. They pushed into penalty kicks and sent an EMP to disable the chip Putin put into the goalkeeper's leg. The checkerboard won on penalties, 4-3. Semifinals. France versus Belgium. This was the match most people were thinking would have been the final. The Baguettes and the Waffles had everything on the line. The winner of this match would go on to determine who gets to claim the inventor of the French fries. It was a tough battle, with both teams giving it their all, lots of heat from both sides, but in the end, Les Baguettes claimed victory over the fries yet again. Croatia versus England. The America of Europe was acting up with their song and dance, so it seemed as if the world sided with the checkerboard, even though some of the stats were on fish and chips to win. And by some crazy miracle, even with a goal down, checkerboard equalized and even pulled off a win in extra time. Everyone thought fish and chips would be drinking themselves into a depression hole, but they actually seemed quite happy about how far they got and how bright their future looks. Good on you guys. Third place, Belgium versus England. Meeting again in the same tournament is a rarity, but that was the case for Waffle Boys and the English Muffin. Unsurprisingly, the Waffles take third place crown and prove that they are indeed the better breakfast food. The final, France versus Croatia. It seemed as if the world knew the Baguette Boys were going to win over the checkerboard, but it didn't stop people from rooting for the underdog. The first goal of France was helped by the checkerboard because they were so nice, they wanted to score for both teams. The second Baguette goal was heavily contested by the Internet Court of Law. But the third and fourth goal didn't leave a lot of room for the internet lawyers, so the results had to be accepted. But the Baguettes did throw them a bone, since the checkerboard did give them their first goal. What a nice goalkeeper the French have. In the end, it was an amazing World Cup. Many countries were happy with the result. Most times, it's just the big footballing nations that really get to celebrate the enormous scale, but this time many countries held their own celebrations for getting as far as they did. The Baguettes obviously had their victory laps around the Eiffel Tower. The checkerboard had all of Zagreb on the streets. The Waffles got a warm homecoming, and even the Teabags had some songs to sing.